love looking out at my classroom and seeing all those thumbs up. And for the last 16 years, I've been asking questions like that. Give me a thumbs up if you can tell me how to find the perimeter of a square. I love it. I love seeing those smiling faces. And since I started with the digital learning cohort program, I've been enlightened. I've been operating under the assumption that this, for the last 16 years, meant that everybody understood everything I was saying. And I'm almost a little bit embarrassed to admit in front of some of the smartest people I've met, they haven't. They haven't been understanding everything I've been saying all these 16 years, because using the iPads in my classroom provides me with instant and simultaneous feedback. And I can see just how many kids aren't getting it. And it has changed the way that I teach, and it's showed me what my kids are getting and what they're not getting. And it helps me change my instruction, all thanks to Edmodo, thanks to apps like Nearpod. So iPads have made my classroom a more enlightening place for my kids and for me.
This one has been a big one for me, communication. And I'll piggyback on what Julie was saying, which is I have never before had access to what my students know and don't know. The feedback and the communication between student and teacher is just mind-blowing. But when you have them reflect, and maybe this isn't mind-boggling for you, but when you have them reflect like that, it takes the conversation from what did you do today to what did I learn today. And that shift is simple, but really big. And so I walked away feeling like, God, that shift has altered how I instruct. This is the big one for me as a social studies teacher. I walked into, and we had this conversation in our cohort, thinking that I was going to find all the magical apps that would teach my kids the things that I don't really like teaching. Like, I don't know about you, but Italian unification, not that sexy to me. And to be honest, not that sexy to my students. So wouldn't it be cool if there was this magical Italian unification app that would teach them about Giuseppe Garibaldi and how he used guerrilla warfare? No, it doesn't exist. There's no such thing. So iPads for me is about access, about finding places where students can go seek the information themselves. Once again, putting them in the driver's seat. The instance here on the board is a website called Eyewitness, put on by the Shoah Foundation at USC. Prior, I selected, it basically is a collection of 1,500 survivor testimonies of Holocaust victims or survivors. And I would select 2 or 3 of these testimonies to show to my students, but once again, that's me controlling. And what Eyewitness allowed me to do was say, hey, I want you to look at these 5 topics, go find a testimony that matches that, and then tell me about it. So my kids are using skills like primary source evaluation and analysis, and also a digital resource that we couldn't even dream of tapping into before iPads came into our classroom.
Grade, one of the smartest kids I've ever taught, he will not write me a story. I put an iPad in front of him and I said, you know what, Rocco? I want you to write me a story. Rocco thought this was the greatest thing ever, and Rocco sat down and wrote it. It was one of the first kids done. Now I'm excited again. This is so cool to have this technology in your classroom. This is the way these kids learn. This is the way they do things now. This isn't the way we grew up. But this is their world.
Creativity. Like I said before, I utilize the iPad as a tool. It just enhances what I already do. And to give my students an outlet to show their creativity, to show how they think, to show how much they can be engaged and actually be willing to collaborate with each other, like I said, is a beautiful thing.
So what I learned from my cohort with Beth and Eileen and Julie and Meg and Kat was not just the tools or the resources that I can use to help my kids, but listening to their expertise and listening to their experiences really made me better. And now I have like buku of ideas of what I want to use next year, and so I'm pretty excited about that.